Alabama Secretary of State Wes Allen has removed a Houston County voter registrar. He accused Dorothy Robbins of multiple violations. Among them are registering felons not eligible to vote and issuing photo identification to those not registered to vote. Robbins, appointed to the job in August, told News 4 moments ago that she knows nothing of those allegations. After learning of the allegations, she issued this statement to News 4. Wes Allen and I will face God's judgment day, and like everything else in life, God will then straighten all matters out to God's own perfect way.